Welcome to day 2 of Let's Look at the Self yoga series. Yesterday we commenced with taking a look at our breath, the cycle of, and then we also went down to the very bottom of ourselves, our base, our feet. And we learned the bones of the feet, the toes, our phalanges, the bones at the front of the feet, metatarsals. The heel of the foot is the calcaneus, leading into our shins, the shin bones, the tibia and fibula. And today we're going to look at the muscles of the calves, known as the gastrocnemius and the soleus, that come together to make the Achilles tendon down here at the bottom. The Achilles tendon is a tough band of fibrous tissue, and it connects to the calcaneus, allowing you to point and flex your feet. It's sometimes referred to as the calcaneal tendon, and it's the largest tendon in your body. The gastrocnemius and the soleus, as I've already mentioned, they merge together to become the Achilles tendon at the base here. And it can be prone to injury because of movements that require pivoting and stopping, and increasing in speed in any of your activities or sports that you do. So it's important to look after your calf muscles and your Achilles tendon, because injuries like a tear can be very painful. They can give a burning sensation above the heel, and they can take a long time to repair. So through the practice of yoga, you can keep your Achilles tendon in tip-top condition by keeping it nice and stretched, supple, and strong in the depths. So we're going to begin with some simple exercises that will help keep the muscles of the calf, especially the Achilles tendon, free from injury. So let's just track over yesterday and bring our breath cycle into main focus. So if you get yourself into a comfortable seated position, the spine upright, you want your head directly over your shoulders and your head and shoulders directly over your hips. And if you want to put your back against a wall to achieve this, then do so. You want to look at the stomach muscles and engage and activate them. Have the stomach muscles pull back towards the spine, gripping round it to lend it that support in its risen state. You can close the eyes to gain a greater internal view of the self as you connect with your breath cycle. Remembering to take full and complete breaths. Journey with your breath down the back of the throat, down the windpipe, into the bronchi, bursting into both left and right lung and filling them completely from bottom to top. And then the exiting breath, emptying your lungs from top to bottom. The breath pushes back up into the bronchi, up through the windpipe and out. back of the throat, otherwise known as the pharyngeal area. And whilst you take these initial couple of rounds of breath to focus, also acknowledge some surrender here. Scan your body for any pockets of tension or stress that you may possibly be holding on to, and just allow them to unravel and to release, especially as you breathe out. And at first, this may be challenging to do, but guaranteed, if you persevere and have patience with this, you can turn things around. You can reverse all the years of built up tension and stress. You can begin to surrender them and let them go, knowing that there are more stress and tension and challenges ahead, but that you will have greater knowledge in how to process them more quickly. They go in like the breath, and they get released like the breath. Unclench your teeth and relax the skin on your face, especially around your cheeks, your eyes, your forehead. Just soften the jawline. It helps to have this total sense of relaxed release in this upper part of your body, for when the head and face and jawline and shoulders are relaxed, the rest of the body has this greater sense of being able to release. So let's start working with the calf muscles. We're going to take a nice breath in and create some lift up through the trunk of the body, and then we're going to extend the left leg out to the side. Now you may find to begin with that possibly your knee might bend and you might have a space left here underneath the back of the knee, underneath the gastrocnemius and the soleus that you find here in the calf muscles. So you could always use a pillow or a cushion to begin with, just to bolster that space. You might like to bring the leg more straight on in front of you if you don't yet have the mobility in the hip to widen it out to the side. As we stated at the beginning, look at the self and practice to your physiology, to your comfort, to your needs. That's the great thing about yoga. You can tailor-make it to suit you. So now we want to just turn the torso so that it becomes more central over our straightened leg. So with your left leg out in front of you, bring your right shoulder forward a little. Indeed, bring the skin on the right side of your body round towards the belly button. So you're actually using the flesh on your torso to assist you to become central over your straightened leg. Place your hands either side of that left leg. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, looking at your feet, your toes, bring them back towards the trunk of the body. Now you may find at first that as you draw your toes back towards the torso, your big toe will come back with greater ease than your little toe. You actually want to aim to get all 5 toes coming back towards your torso equally. So take a nice deep breath in, and as you exhale, feel a nice stretch of energy go down the inside of the leg and come round underneath the foot to the little toe to bring that towards the trunk of your body. And you can relax the big toe for now. So you're actually trying to work that little toe to come towards the trunk of the body. And then soften. If at any time as well you feel any shaking within the leg, any part of the leg, that's your nervous system telling you that you are overstretching. So you need to ease off a little. Remember always, patience with the self. So we're going to take a nice deep breath in now. We're going to rise up through the trunk of the body. And as we exhale, we're going to gently hinge forward. With each inhalation, we want to think about lifting the skin around our hips up towards the middle part of our body so that we create space in the hips so that we are able to hinge forward. We'll then bring our left fingers round just to see if they can catch on that little toe. Now, if this is not possible to begin with, then use a belt or a strap. You'll be able to put the belt so that it comes round the ball of the foot and hold on either side. And this is the simple technique. From here, you're just going to breathe, and every time you exhale, you can feel that the toes are coming towards the trunk of the body, and the calcaneus, the heel bone, pushes away from you. Remember to take it nice and slowly. It's only through many years of practicing that I am able to have this reach. So if you're very new to yoga, if you're right back here and you're thinking, well, I'm never going to reach my toes, don't give up. The body needs time to surrender. It's just a case of looking at the part of your body that you are stretching. Look at the self. See it happen in time with your breathing. Whilst you are leaning forward as well to work your way towards your foot, check that your shoulders are level. There's going to be every chance that because you're leaning to the left, you're going to drop lower on the left side and the right side will stay up. Now use both sides to correct this. So you're going to lift the left side and lower the right side. You're going to use both sides of the body. Adjust the flesh. Use your hands as well. You can put your hands onto your torso and gently lead it in the right direction. Now take a breath in, and as you exhale, allow the toes to point. Breathe in centrally, bring the foot up, and as you exhale, bring the toes back towards you. So in time with your breathing, you'll be pointing and flexing. And this will just be travelling through the Achilles tendon, your gastrocnemius and your soleus. Your gastrocnemius and soleus muscles of the calf, they insert into the back of the knee. And then take a nice deep breath in, draw back to the centre, and let's swap to the other side. Taking your time to swap over. Remember, this is your practice, there's no rush. adjust and adapt to your new side that you're working on. So again, eye line to the part of the body that you're focusing on. Get your shoulders level. And just walk your hands forward slightly. See if you can just bring one of your fingers to that little pinky toe to draw it back towards the torso. Because you'll find that as you flex the foot, usually the big toe will have dominance and it will come back with greater ease. But what you're trying to do now, your aim is to align the foot centrally so that as you flex back, your Achilles tendon, the whole band of fibrous tissue, works equally. Create space as you breathe in, flex forward over the leg. Check that your shoulders are level and that you can do that adjustment using both sides. You might find that your right side is tipped down further than your left. So lift the right, drop the left. You may be able to connect both hands to the foot so that you can gently draw those toes back towards the trunk of the body, or you might want to use your belt or strap. It doesn't matter if you're right back here with the connection of the strap. That's fine. You're still working on your Achilles tendon and your gastrocnemius and soleus muscles of the calf. And the gastrocnemius and the soleus at the top here, they insert into the back of the knee. Again, always having patience. Remember the breath in. Remember that you can tell the temperature that's touching on the tip of your nose, the air that is right there in front of your face. And as it comes in, you're taking in new oxygen, which is feeding your flow of energy. And the nice, full, complete breath is relaxing to the nervous system. Because your mind and body are getting plenty of oxygen, the nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system, the deeper layer of the nerves, they can feel quite happy and relaxed and calm because they're all getting fed this beautiful oxygen. So resting the hands beside the foot, the right foot. Nice deep breath in, and as you exhale, point the toe. Breathe in, bring the toes up towards the ceiling, and then exhale, draw them back towards the trunk of your body. Nice and slowly and rhythmically. And look at the part of your body you're working. Look at the self and see what it's doing, how it's moving, and how it's feeling as it's moving. Unclench your teeth. Remember, when you clench your teeth, you're holding on to tension. And our aim, our goal is to release all tension. So we can allow suppleness and flexibility in. And then take a nice deep breath in as you pull the tummy in to return upright and bring the leg in to cross. And just give yourself a moment in this neutral position. A complete breath in, all the way up to the shoulders here, the scapulars. And a complete breath out. So now we're going to move into the position known as dog pose head down, which is going to give a full and complete stretch through the backs of your legs, together with stretching through the arms and the trunk of the body. But we are particularly paying attention today to the legs. Now, in dog pose head down, one of the aims is to bring our heels to the floor whilst in the position. And this, indeed, is going to stretch through the Achilles tendon, the gastrocnemius and the soleus, all the muscles of the calf that we have just looked at. Now, for some of us, the heels of our feet will not ever get onto the floor in this position, and that is because of something called compression. That is to do with your skeleton, your bones. When two bones meet, you have compression. There is no more movement available. So please be aware of this. Whilst we're in dog pose head down, take the time to scan your body, especially through the legs, the lower legs. And if the heels of your feet are not touching the floor, it will be your job to check whether this is due to tensile stretch within the Achilles tendon, the gastrocnemius and the soleus, or whether it is compression of your bones and no more movement is available in that area. Now, dog pose head down can continually be practiced even if your heels do not reach the floor. So this is something to be aware of. I'll explain again as we practice, but remember, there is tensile stretch to work with, or there is compression to acknowledge that no more movement will be available. So let's take ourselves now into tabletop position on our hands and our knees. Take your time getting there. You want to get yourself into a nice stable tabletop position, i.e. your knees are hip width apart and directly under your hips, and your hands are shoulder width apart, directly under your shoulders. Breathe into the position, become acquainted with and adjusted to your position. From the outset, avoid collapsing your weight, your energy, down into your wrists. So rather than feeling the energy is dropping downward, you want to push the floor away from you and feel the energy rise up from the base of the hands, the palms of the hands, all the way up through the wrists and the arms, so that you can have this sense of lightness rather than crashing down. Also have a pulling in of the stomach muscles. Rather than letting them collapse down, you want to pull them in so you keep a nice straight spine. We're going to turn the toes under, take a nice deep breath in, teeth unclenched, and slowly lift the buttocks and the hips upwards. Staying on tiptoes for now. Adjusting to the position. Now you want to get a nice alignment of the head and neck, so if you aim toward having your ears brushing on the insides of your upper arms, and really breathe into your spinal cord and right up into your tailbone. So this very base of your spine, the coccygeal region, the coccyx, the very bottom bone, is pointing up. And then nice and gently you'll begin to allow the heels of your feet to lower down. So, if the heels of the feet do not connect at the mat to begin with, and they're raised upwards, you then have the job to do in looking at the stretch through the calf muscles first and foremost. The base of the calf muscle, the Achilles tendon, okay, this part here. Is it a case of breathing out and letting go, surrendering and allowing the heel of the foot down? Or is it a case that the bones at the front of the feet here, your metatarsals into your tibia and fibula, do they become compressed so that there is no more movement? Can you create more space from the hands up through the arms, through the torso, through the tailbone to allow further stretch to take place through the backs of the legs? Take your time in finding this. You are looking at the self. There is no rush. You can also bend and straighten the legs alternately, nice and gently, to help the Achilles tendon to stretch and surrender, the gastrocnemius and the soleus to release and increase in their suppleness. Even this very gentle technique, practiced on a daily basis for just a few minutes, can make all the difference to the flexibility and the suppleness in your legs. Remember, avoid crashing down into your wrists. If you put a nice amount of equal weight into your thumbs and forefingers and the outer edge of the hands, and then have that energy rise up through the arms. And most importantly, breathe. Remember how the rib cage opens and closes equally, front, sides and back. Allow this activity to continue to take place with every breath, and you have that acknowledgement and awareness of it at all times, even whilst looking at other parts of the body. And then breathe in, rise up onto your toes, bend your knees, bring them back to the floor, turn the toes under, bring the buttocks to the heels of the feet, stretch the hands forward, and then rest your forehead. Pose of a child. You can allow the arms to stretch forward, or you can travel the fingertips in the same direction as the toes. Let go across the upper back muscles. As you breathe out, surrender, release and let go. And then to your next breath in, pull in the tummy in, so that that activation and engagement of the stomach muscles supports the spine as it rises, and then bring yourself back to your neutral sitting position with a wall behind you if you require, even perhaps having a cushion or pillow just at the base of the sit bones, so that you can rise up through the spine, through the torso. Close the eyes and look at the self. Be aware of how you feel, the space you have created in your body, the new awareness and knowledge you have of your feet and your lower legs. And we'll come back tomorrow to further look at the self, continue with the legs. We'll look at the largest muscle group of the body, the quadriceps, here at the front of the legs, and we'll take a look at the hamstrings in the back of the legs and how we can practice towards bringing greater suppleness and flexibility to that area too. Thanks for joining in the session today. Let's look at the self.